So
I've always felt like that. There's this idea that I can do anything I want in town. And maybe that's true on one level, that I can do anything they would like me to do. But sometimes the things you want to do take time.
By this point, we all know that Kevin Costner's ambitious 4-part Western epic, Horizon, is more than just a film series for the legendary actor. For him, it's the culmination of a nearly 40-year dream. And Costner is so determined to make this dream come true that despite setbacks, including lukewarm box office results, financial challenges, and production pauses, he vows to release the remaining third and fourth chapters of the franchise, no matter what. The good news is, he already hinted at a release date and what can be expected from the incoming trailer. So, without further ado, let's dive in.
Mark, set, action.
When you do Western, actors, they always say they can ride a horse, and it's a big statement. You're going to end up proving it in front of everybody.
If you didn't know, Costner first envisioned Horizon in the late 1980s, apparently inspired by his deep appreciation for the Western genre and American history. He says that he wanted to craft a sprawling, multi-perspective story about life in the 1860s, touching on themes of survival, community, and justice. Does it sound familiar to you? Well, it is familiar because it is basically the same topic with Taylor Sheridan's well-loved Yellowstone prequel, 1883. But of course, it would be bold to claim that one stole the idea from the other, since both Sheridan and Costner have always made their best to appreciate the Western history and culture whenever they can. And it is clear that Costner has devoted his everything to this franchise.
What separates it for me is that we almost have a kind of a national amnesia about the trip, the Great Migration that took 200 years, almost 250 years. We went by inches, and the thing that's missing in most Westerns, because I don't like all Westerns, I disregard most of them that I grew up with, but occasionally when they find a level of authenticity, both in how people are dressed, how they're shot, how they live, what they're saying, they're haunting to me, because it's not a land in Disneyland.
It's my own private UFO, he said at the Deadline Contenders event, and continued, "I've seen it, and I will never forget it, and I chase it as long as I can."
I chase it. It's my own private UFO. I've seen it, and I will never forget it, and I chase it as long as I can. And the fact that I've been able to make 2 of them, I think I'd be satisfied with my life.
As I said, this isn't just a project for him. It's a legacy. He added, "It's a dream of mine to find the production partner to make sure this story is told the way it deserves to be told." So, in the end, it is once again a financial issue for Costner. Otherwise, everything and everyone is ready for the franchise to continue and hopefully wrap its story up. I have to underline that Costner's passion for the project also stems from its scope. This isn't just one story, he explained. It's multiple stories intertwined, reflecting the complexity of life on the frontier. And I want audiences to feel like they've been transported into that world. Well, did you feel like you were transported to the 19th century when you watched The Horizon? Or do you prefer 1883's atmosphere over Horizon? Let me know in the comments. As I briefly hinted in the beginning, bringing Horizon to life hasn't come easy, even for a legendary actor like Costner. Financially, Costner has invested close to $100 million of his own money into the project. I mean, if this is not proving his unwavering belief in this project, I don't know what is. He also admitted, "I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make chapter 3 and then I'm going to make the 4th one. And if you want to say the end at that point, then that's the end." Well, at this point, we are all rooting for Costner. Even if the movies wouldn't end up being masterpieces, as a fan of Costner, I genuinely want to see him making his dreams come true. Are you excited to see the Horizon franchise wrapping its story up? Let me know in the comments below. Since making Horizon has been challenging for him, Costner had to take a series of tough career decisions throughout the process. He famously left his role in Yellowstone, which was a huge scandal for us, the fans of the show. To this day, though, Costner stands by his decision. As he said, "I couldn't give Horizon half my attention. It deserved everything I had." I mean, it is clear that the legendary actor still believes that Horizon deserves anything and everything despite all the challenges it presented. And I respect his stance on that. Would you sacrifice a steady success like Yellowstone for a passion project like Horizon? I can't wait to hear your thoughts about it. As many of you know, Horizon Chapter 1 premiered at the 2024 Cannes Film Festival and received an emotional 11-minute standing ovation. That night was unforgettable, Costner recalled. To see people respond to the story and the world we created, it brought me to tears. Let's be honest, at that moment, we all thought that Horizon was going to be the next big thing. We were expecting Oscar nominations, box office records, and a franchise that continues for years with multiple spin-offs. Unfortunately, though, contrary to the high expectations, critical and box office reception was mixed. While mostly praised for its breathtaking visuals and ambitious storytelling, some people felt the narrative leaned too heavily on the perspectives of white settlers, sidelining indigenous stories. Some people also thought that the story was confusing to follow, with too many characters at hand. Some argued that the franchise will probably make sense once all 4 movies are being completed and we get to watch it from the beginning to the end. However, the first chapter alone does not make much sense and feels incomplete.
In Horizon, it's burnt, it's built up, it's burnt, it's built up. And then finally, there's the great tipping point in all Westerns, which we know, because it never ended well for the Native Americans. There's a tipping point of sheer numbers. And finally, the town of Horizon bumps over the edge, and life will never be the same. It will be what we know it to be, and the loss that's there. And I guess that's why it takes me 4 movies.
Let me know what you thought about the first Horizon movie, but personally, I liked it. I wasn't a huge fan of it by any means, but I saw the potential in it. Nevertheless, Chapter 2 faced an even rockier road for Costner. Warner Brothers pulled its planned theatrical release in August 2024, following the underwhelming performance of Chapter 1. Instead, it premiered at the Venice Film Festival, but has yet to see a broader release. So many of us are still yet to watch the second chapter of the franchise. Seriously, it could be a masterpiece, and yet we have no idea about it simply because Chapter 1 did not perform well on the theaters. Despite this, Costner remains hopeful. When you have 1 and 2, you'll really see how they're all working together, he said about the movies, and I believe in him. Costner has also confirmed that production for Chapter 3 is underway, though only 8 days of filming have been completed so far. If you didn't know, the 3rd installment is expected to delve deeper into the conflicts introduced in the earlier films, including the struggle of the Apache tribe to reclaim their land and the challenges faced by the pioneer settlement. We can also anticipate, in true Costner nature, heightened drama and action. The legendary actor hinted at more intense personal and moral dilemmas for the characters, saying, "We're pushing boundaries in storytelling, just like the people we're portraying pushed boundaries in their lives."
That's kind of what we've tried to do during the course of Horizon is let some of these moments really breathe. We'll get to the gunfight, but I'm glad that that scene stands out.
As far as we know, the unresolved cliffhanger from Chapter 2 promises a thrilling continuation, with themes of survival, resilience, and justice taking center stage. It is expected for all the storylines to merge at the end, meaning that Sienna Miller's character will eventually meet with Costner's character, which is huge. So if you see Costner killing Miller's character in the trailer for the new movie, do not be surprised. I'm just saying. While no release date has been set, insiders speculate a late 2025 or early 2026 debut for the 3rd movie. But we will see. What storylines are you most excited to see in Chapter 3? Drop your predictions in the comments below. According to Costner, Horizon is a story about humanity, about what it means to struggle, to build, and to dream in a harsh, unforgiving world. And I think that resonates with people, no matter when or where they live. And I agree with him. Yes, it was a bit confusing at first, but once we get all 4 movies, this heartfelt story will make all the sense in the world. For more updates on Costner's Horizon franchise, make sure to like and follow. If you want to see how Yellowstone continued without Costner, watch the video on the screen.